Photos of cities, their development and decay, of people and their lives in urban areas. This impressive global panorama is now on show in Berlin.
The Gobi Desert in northern China. This is where Ordos, a new city for 5 million people, is being built. Dubai was also planned on the drawing board. A gigantic metropolis, artificial and virtually deserted. In contrast, the war-damaged towns in the Gaza Strip are full of people. Here, life continues among the ruins. Pripyat near Chernobyl has no residents at all. Everything is contaminated by radioactivity. It's a dead city. The 21st century city has many faces. 22 of them are now on display in the CO Gallery in Berlin. Members of the Ostkreuz photo agency spent 2.5 years taking pictures of cities all over the world. A unique long-term project sustained by enthusiasm and team spirit.
The element that sparked this entire exhibition project was the worldwide change that by 2008, more people were living in urban areas than in the countryside. The agency seized on that as an opportunity to tackle the topic and ask, what is a city? How can we use this entity to capture in images urban life and what it means?
The journey took the photographers to Ushuaia, the southernmost city in Argentina. Young people at the end of the world, at home in the global village. The people in the slums of Manila are also at home. This is where their daily life is played out. The once prosperous industrial city of Detroit is a home that's disintegrating from the inside.
When you enter the city, you see burnt-out buildings, torn-down buildings, boarded-up shop fronts. It looks like a natural disaster. I wanted to show how this phenomenon of the shrinking city affects its people, and how they cope with it, and what life there is like.
The people who live here have too much time and too few prospects for the future. Young women photographed against a gray background near the city limits, modern Mona Lisas on the outskirts of town. Photographers Ute and Werner Mahler traveled through the suburbs of Reykjavik, Minsk, Liverpool, and Florence. They wanted to find out how people's surroundings affect them. Is there something like a face that fits faceless surroundings?
I have the feeling that when surroundings are anonymous and interchangeable, there's a danger, of course, that they might have an effect on personal development. That was the question we had.
That was the question we went in with, without knowing the answer, and without wanting to give a definitive answer.
The city, a place that raises major questions. There are many answers. One of them is the urban utopia Auroville in India. It exemplifies another way of living together. It's a place of peace and meditation for a few people. Lagos is completely different, possibly the most chaotic city in Africa. Is this uncontrollably growing entity still a city at all? Isn't it more of an anti-city?
When I first began to be interested in Lagos, all I could find out about it was that it was disastrously chaotic. But when you go in and look more closely at things, you see that actually there are lots of structures similar to those we know. Lagos is just incredibly crowded and incredibly dense, so it's incredibly intense. But I think, in any case, that's what makes a city.
People go to cities to find happiness. The myth of Atlantis symbolizes that search. It's impossible to find, but omnipresent. Annette Holschid has photographed places that bear that iconic name. Hotels, discos, holiday parks, places that promise the ideal, but are all imperfect.
I was more interested in the positive aspect, this yearning for the city, for city life, that promise of salvation that's really always there, which all people seem to deal with. The idea that somewhere there must be a place where we feel better. And very often, it's the city.
Cities come and go. People and their desires remain. This exhibition demonstrates that vividly.